How's it going, guys? It is finally time for the second video of this channel. And I just want to get this out of the way. I'd like to apologize for the last video. The audio was like really bad. I scrapped that microphone. It just wasn't very good at all. And so I'm just using regular audio right now. No microphone, just me in a closed off room, just talking to the camera. So you've already seen the topic of today's video, the title, and that is modern dating and what it's turned into, unfortunately, and how it is not at all what it used to be like 20, 30, 40 years ago, even 10, 15 years ago. It really has come a long way and not exactly for the best. So without further ado, I'm just going to get right into it and give you my opinions on this matter. So first topic, I have like a little list right now. First topic I want to go off is the dating apps. Now, dating apps were introduced to the App Store basically 10, maybe 15 years ago, like early 2010s era basically. And it basically started off as kind of like Tinder. I think Tinder was maybe like the first like main one, I'd say. And then there's Bumble and Hinge and like all this other stuff. And there's like Duet, all this other stuff that's been added in more recent years. But let's talk about dating apps for a minute. So dating apps it was supposed to be brought into and introduced to society as a more convenient way of dating, a way where you can match with an online partner and make things easier, so where you can just meet up with them in person, grab a cup of coffee together, get dinner, and it was supposed to make things more convenient basically. But as you've heard horror stories before with catfishing, with all these horror stories of like all these bad things, and what it's transcended to honestly today as more just like, honestly, this is just my personal experience with dating apps, but it never leads anywhere. And that could just be me personally, my experience, like I said, but it never leads anywhere at all. You maybe at the end of the day will get their Snapchat, their Instagram, whatever, their number, but everything just fizzles out in a matter of a couple of weeks. So I don't know, maybe I just don't have any game. That could just be what it is, but it's made things so easy to where girls and guys, but mostly girls, they could just swipe, and they have unlimited options, unlimited guys that they can just swipe from. And it's basically taken away the point of in-person dating, like that, the whole traditional method of walking up to a girl in a bar or a coffee shop. It just doesn't happen as much anymore because they can just go in a dating app, swipe, and unlimited options right there. So it, in a way, does make more convenience sake of things, but it also subtracts a lot of the ways that used to work before in previous generations. Millennials and Gen Z were like the first generations to use this, but honestly, I would say it's more of a negative than a positive in my personal opinion. Next point is the fear of being rejected. If you want to approach a girl, you walk up to her, a girl that you find attractive or whatever, a lot of guys, in fact, I think I read a stat where roughly 45%, so nearly half of men ages 18 to 25 have never approached a woman in their life to ask them out on a date. Nearly half, 45%, never have done it once in their life. Let that sink in. Like, that is, and it never used to be like that. it never used to be like that. And now, because of social media and dating apps, there's many positives, but there's also many negatives. In this case, we're talking about the negatives. But, and adding on to that, fear of rejection and fear of approaching a girl. See, it's no longer just a simple no. It's never just anymore nowadays a simple no or a simple rejection. Now you're seeing these girls, especially more. Granted, I'm not talking about every girl. When they reject a guy, they do this, but you're seeing a lot now on Instagram, on Twitter, Reels, and all this stuff. How if a guy goes up to a girl and asks her out, and she says no, it's never just no. It is a full-blown humiliation ritual. Like, it's just, oh, why the fuck? Why would you come up to me? Why would you saying all this? It's just, it's never just a no. It's never just a no anymore. And you'll get ridiculed by not only her but her friends as well. Especially at like clubs and bars. That seems to be the main setting of places most guys get rejected, most of the time at least. And and like no wonder why these guys aren't approaching women. No wonder why 45% of men ages 18 to 25 have never approached a girl in their life to ask them out. It's because it's no longer just a simple no. It's a humiliate. They just humiliate you. They just start going off ballistic on you, and it's just like, no, guys don't want to deal with that. Guys do not want to deal with that. And it's just it's a bad business, man. And honestly, that's me personally. Like, I'm a part of that 45%. Well, actually, no, actually, never mind. I'm not. But you know what I mean. Like, it's never just a no. And adding to that, another reason why guys, half of men haven't approached a girl ever to ask them out is because of the fear of perception of being seen as creepy or weird or a stalker or a full-blown weirdo. Like, no guy wants to be seen as that. And don't get me wrong, there are some genuinely creepy guys out there. I'm not denying that fact at all. But there are most guys, I'd say, when they're approaching a girl, they have good intentions and they actually want to get their number or their Snapchat or whatever, and it's just, you don't want to be seen as the pedo or I'm a rapist. I don't know if I can say the R word on YouTube. I don't know, I might get taken down, but you don't want to be seen as that creepy guy and the girl just run away to her friends. Guys are afraid of that. They don't want to be seen as that creepy dude who approaches a girl and then her whole entire friends just started screaming and yelling or laughing at you, even worse, and calling you a creep. Like, and you see all these girls on TikTok now and Instagram saying, "Oh, why won't men approach me anymore? Like, is it because I'm ugly? Is it because I'm ugly? Like, why won't guys approach me anymore?" It's what you asked for. You asked guys not to approach you at bars, at the club, gym. Okay, gyms are different. I can understand if you don't want to be approached at the gym and you're working out. I get it. But like, this is what y'all asked for. This is what y'all asked for. And now that you're not getting approached, now all of a sudden you want that attention. So like, no, you reap what you sow. Like, I mean, no wonder why all these guys are afraid of approaching girls nowadays. Like, they don't want to deal with any of that drama. They don't want to be seen as creepy. They don't want to get humiliated in front of their friends or out in public, even worse, in front of multiple different people. They don't want to deal with that, and I don't blame them. That's why I mean, me personally, I don't even approach girls. Yeah, yeah. I don't even remember the last time. Oh, I don't even remember the last time I've approached like a girl to like ask her out. It's been that long. Like I, I don't know. Like I know I'm not like Zac Efron from High School Musical or whatever, but Michael B. Jordan or some shit, you know. But like, hey, I'm okay looking, and peep the sweater by the way. I've already got a compliment on it today. Actually, 2 compliments. The fit. I did do a quick fit check. Sorry. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. So, I mean, and I guess leading on to my second point is what is considered red flags now, because so many of, I mean, I know a lot of what I've been talking about in this video are heavily geared towards like, oh, women are bad, like, I'm not an incel, all right, or at least you don't have to. I hope you don't think I am, because there are guys, I mean, women aren't all to blame in here, obviously. Like, there's a lot of bad dudes out there who take advantage of women, and they're bad on both sides. So I'm not like, this video isn't just to like bash women, like that's not the point of this video. But I am making this video to emphasize the reality of modern dating and what it's come to. So that's exactly what I'm doing. And but anyway, yeah, my next point is how women and guys, but how the standards have raised unbelievably high. I don't. You might have heard this like metaphor. I guess you can call it a metaphor. It's like the 3 or 2 6s. It's you got to be 6 foot tall, 6 figures, make 6-figure income, and I know there's a third one. I might edit in the third one there, but it basically the standards have been raised so like unbelievably almost unrealistically high. And it's like, and with height I understand, because I mean, girls want a tall guy. I mean, I feel like most girls want a tall guy, you know, like at least close to 6 foot and above. But and I'm blessed, I have the genetics to be 6'2" ish. So I mean, it really just comes down to genetics, like I said, because you could have a lethal face card, right? Like Timothy Chalamet, but you could be 5'5", and then girls, like that's just a deal breaker, you know? So, especially like girls in my generation, Gen Z, it's like height is a big deal. And I know it sucks for a lot of guys, because there are definitely a lot of guys out there who aren't tall, or like, you know, 5'8", 5'7", whatever, and that like that's their max height potential for their genetic, and it sucks, you know. And I feel sympathy for those guys. I'm not one of them, but you kind of have to be grateful and count your blessings of what you got, you know. And sometimes that's just how life is. You just gotta take your blessings and move forward. So I guess in adding on to that is the red flags part. So it kind of almost feels like everything to a girl now these days is a red flag. Like everything, all the little things. Like you I don't know, you wear black Air Force, which it kind of is like a low-key red flag, I'm not gonna lie. But I mean, it could be the silliest of things. It could be he likes to drink matcha. He drives a Ford Explorer. I don't know. He drives a pickup truck. Like anything can be considered a red flag now for girls these days. Like it's kind of ridiculous. All right, anything could be considered a red flag. The silliest things, and like I said, it goes off like the standards thing. It's just like, it's just become kind of silly of like what is considered a red flag and a green flag, and like he has to have this, and the A, B, C, D, E, F, G. You know, it's like he has to have all this, and it's like they want all these things, but the guy isn't allowed to have standards at all. Like that's the census that I'm getting, is that girls are allowed to have all these standards, and guys are supposed to just pick and choose. Like they're not really supposed to have standards. They just like get what they can take, you know. And it's like, okay, so I guess only girls are allowed to have standards these days, but I don't know. That's beyond me, I guess. I guess it's a societal feminist norm now, but not saying anything against femininity, but just how society is today. So I guess the next point is, I don't know if you've heard this term, like the different pill. There's black pill, red pill, blue pill, and black pill is something what I want to emphasize on is, so black pill is basically like your looks and your overall appearance as a guy, especially as a guy. I mean, for girls too, but your appearance matters, and that's it. Like your appearance and your genetic look determines everything in your dating life. Basically, that's what black pill is. And I don't think that's totally true, because I'm not gonna lie, I've walked around here a lot of these college campuses and high school campuses and stuff back in the day, and I've seen some absolute uggos, dumpster fires, dating other, let's just say, not very attractive people. Okay, so I mean, I don't think the black pill thing is like totally accurate at all. I do think you should be looking to improve your appearance as much as possible. I do think it matters that you should take care of your appearance. You keep up with your hygiene. You're getting haircuts. You're, I don't know, skincare, hygiene, just going to the gym, obviously, working out, you know, all the things, all the ladder of things that you should be doing to take care of your appearance, you should be doing. I don't disagree with that. But I do not think that that is the only thing that matters when it comes to dating, because like I said, I've seen some not so great looking couples, let's just say. I'm not trying to be too mean, but on this channel, I'm gonna keep it real with you. Like, you know, like I may be kind of rude sometimes, but if you can't take it, then maybe this channel isn't for you. But I'm just speaking my truth. So, it's just black pill. I think, I don't remember what like the red pill and blue pill, what exactly that meant, but I do remember black pill, and it's just that your appearance matters like over everything, and that's it. Like that's what determines your dating success. That's what determines like your life success. That's the whole 9 yards, like everything. So I like I said, in conclusion to that, I don't think that's all that matters, because I do think personality does matter too, obviously, and your willingness to communicate and be an actual good partner, you know, that obviously matters a whole lot too, not just your appearance. But I'm not gonna lie, in retrospect to that, your looks is what gets you into the room. It gets your foot in the door. Your appearance, your looks gets your foot into the door, into dating. And that's because, think about it, your face, your appearance, your outfit, all that stuff is the first thing that girls notice about you. Okay, is this guy attractive? Does he have a nice outfit on? Does he have good hygiene? Yada yada, like, you know, all that stuff. Okay, they have a checklist they're running down. And if you don't have these things, then your success in dating just likely isn't going to be as good if you did take care of yourself in that manner of, like I said, the outfits, your skin, all that stuff. You're just not going to get the same success as someone who does pay heavily attention to this, you know, and I think I don't like using this term, but it's called looks. I'm assuming you probably heard of looks maxing, right? So looks maxing, and just best you're maxing out your looks, basically maxing out your attractiveness as a overall objective attractiveness as a person. That's what it means. And you could have a 10 out of 10 face card with a crappy personality, but you would still get tons of looks your way and tons of girls or guys interested in you because of your appearance. So I'm not going to say black pill isn't totally inaccurate, because it, like I said, it gets your foot into the door and it gets girls or guys interested in you. So it's important, but it's not everything that matters. And it's like, it's girl. So another interesting thing, I think the last topic I'll talk about, I know last video was like 21, 22-ish minutes long. This video hopefully isn't that long. But I think the last part I'd like to talk about is what girls actually want versus what they say they want. And there's a huge difference, because what girls say they want is a nice guy who brings them flowers, who drives them to the fast food drive-through to buy them ice cream, you know, stuff like. And obviously that's like doing romantic gestures like that isn't, they do like that, but what I've noticed, and I'm only 20, so obviously I'm still learning a whole lot about the psychology of what they actually want, but in my experience, I feel like girls actually want a guy who can be sometimes like kind of toxic almost, and not necessarily just toxic, but what I mean by that is that girls, they want a guy who can obviously show up for them, and a guy who, it's kind of like they almost want the best of both worlds, like a guy who brings them flowers, and a guy who is just kind of like comes across as kind of that like douchey guy, and it's just gonna be, it's kind of confusing to really understand what they know. And honestly, I don't even know if I can really explain it, because I had sure as shit have not figured girls out. This is just my personal experience. But with my personal experience, I think, so I haven't, me personally, and I'll wrap things up soon, but in my experience, I have not had a girlfriend in 5.5 years, I think. Yeah, summer of yeah. So me personally, I haven't had a girlfriend in like 5.5 years. This has mainly been by choice. Also, and I'm honestly right now, I'm not totally like open to dating as well, because I'm in the next like 2.5 years from now, I'm gonna be moving a lot, moving back to college, moving back to my home state. I might be going to like Texas, you know, in like a couple years from now, and it's just like there's a lot of moving around. And honestly, if I meet a girl at college, that obviously could change things, but she would have to be someone very special, because honestly, I don't see it working out. And like I said, it mostly it has been by choice. I've definitely had my opportunities to date girls, like especially in high school, like later on, like sophomore, junior, senior year of high school, I definitely had my chances to date, but the connection, the spark, I didn't feel it. And hookup culture is another big thing, and I felt like Not that I like slept around a lot in high school. I didn't, but hookup culture is just such an interesting thing, man. Because it's like you even seeing these high schoolers, like young kids that I'm looking at now, and they're just like 16 bodies by like 18 years old, like some crazy shit like that. Like it's just it's insane, like that young, and you're sleeping around, like it's just insane, man. 16, but like that is crazy. That is crazy. And I feel like I wanted to almost like have the opportunity to date like in high school in the past couple years, but that just I feel like that was never really on the table, you know? It just always felt like it was just straight up, hey, do you want to hook up? Like that was just the main point that they were the end result that they wanted. Like they didn't want a relationship of any sort. They just wanted to hook up. And so it just dating hasn't been on the table the past couple years, and honestly, like I said again, in college, on if I when I live on campus again this August, if I find someone, then I find someone that would be great. But honestly, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough, and even if I do find someone, I'm gonna be moving around a lot, and so and I'm young. I'm 20. I'm 20 years old, so there's plenty of time to date. But I think I want to focus on getting my money up, on growing as many professional and valuable skills that I can in digital marketing, with content creation, with acting, modeling. Like I'm trying to get all that stuff down, and then maybe I can start looking into dating. But I feel like it's not what I need right now. Like I don't need a relationship right now. I don't need a girlfriend right now. Maybe it would help me. I don't know. Maybe like ease my anxiety, but I don't honestly feel like a lot of guys, not just me, but I feel like a lot of guys right now just they need to focus on themselves because uh, men too. Don't get me wrong. I know I've been kind of attacking women sort of in this video. It sounds bad, but with how many like girl promiscuous women there are out today in the dating market, honestly, with a lot of these younger dudes, I would just say just stick to yourself, bro. Just stick to yourself because like I said, there's a lot of very promiscuous, provocative women out there right now in the dating world, and it's not even just that, but girls who will cheat on you without hesitation, girls who will have all these unrealistic high standards of you and expect all these things of you in return, and like you're just supposed to allow that. As a guy, I feel like in today's society you're just supposed to allow all these things, that all these red flags in women, that you're just supposed to pass by as nothing, and you're not supposed to have standards as a guy now these days. And that's a problem because it creates weak men who will settle for anything because they feel like they don't have a voice. And that's a real issue. I think society nowadays is creating really weak men through the adult entertainment industry, through all these girls with unrealistic high standards. It's a real issue, and honestly, I'm kind of scared for the future of men in today's society. More specifically, Western culture, but in general, like it's not a good road we're going on right now. So I feel like I've said all I could I feel like I made all my points clear. Again, I'll have, I don't know if I can add a link to it, but I can mention my Instagram down below in the description if you want to follow that. You don't have to, but it's there if you want. I'll be posting modeling stuff. I'll be posting some real Instagram reels about the YouTube channel stuff, just things in general. If you want to see my daily life, I know I'm going to San Diego this July. If you want to see some posts on that, stuff like, you don't have to, but I think I'm going to wrap up today's video with that closing statement that I just said. And I want you guys and girls to really stay safe out there in today's society, because it's an evil world we live in now. Things aren't the same way of how they used to be 20, 30 years ago. And I just want you guys to stay safe and know that, I know I've said a lot of like negative things about people in general today in today's video, but there are genuinely good people out there in the world. You just gotta find them. It's rare, but they do exist, and I want you guys to really keep that in mind and look for the good and the positive in the world, because I know it's still out there. So with that being said, I'm gonna wrap up the video right now, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.